Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Paps, a rising VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be continuing work on page 12 here. No clue if we're going to be able to finish it up today, but we're going to try. Actually, I don't think it's unfeasible to finish it today. I think I have the proverbial dog in me to finish this. Although it might not be as easy as it sounds. For the time being, let's unload Hawk from here and focus on what we can see, which is the laser gun. Alright, open this up. So we're going to need a couple things for this. First of all, I mean, we can just get started with the basics. So let's just do this one. Just trying to figure out where the floor would show up. Is there a helicopter outside my window? Like, what? I hear, like, this very loud motorized noise. And that usually means a helicopter stopping close by, but like, it was really loud just now. So, they're gonna do, like, an airdrop on me. Alright, I think that's good, the part of the gun. This would be filled. This wouldn't be. Alright, then over here. I think it was a good idea in the end to make the scale of this a little bit bigger. Not only because it puts more emphasis on the gun and it flows a little better, but mainly because that also means I don't have to draw the whole lead to the, oh hey, this almost forms like a star. Anyway, I don't have to draw anything that goes through the hole that leads to the outside of the dome here. I don't need to worry about that. That's off my plate. That's not my baby to rock. Okay. Something about this platform seems off. Oh, my. I confused my own brain. I thought like the perspective of meant like the thing should be here, but the perspective is right. You know, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, since we're not gonna be super detailed regarding the. Hang on. I don't have to go into too much detail with the van here. I think I'm gonna. So I think we can kind of wing it a little bit. Although I might pull a trick or two out of my hat here and there. I think I do want to add one more thing. Just a very small thing. I want to add the plug here. Hang on. I gotta also add the guys here. I'm gonna have like one of them drop the plug. Does this perspective work? I think it kind of does. Although maybe I need to put this guy a little bit further back. That might take him out of the. Yeah, that might interrupt with some of the talking here, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Otherwise, the perspective just straight up does not work. Okay, grab this. Grab this. And grab this. While we're at it, we might as well start painting the little soldier guys. Okay. This guy too. Honestly, kind of nice how this ladder here came out. I really like it. Let's see though. Okay, I'll think about that in just a little bit. I also need to add the color for the actual outside dome part. The cannon will probably be the part here that takes the longest to make. On account of the fact that I need to basically paint it twice. Right. I also wanted to add something else, which was the plug here. Let's see. I think having this just slack on the ground will help to contextualize where everything is placed. In case the reader was having a little bit of trouble with that. I'm also gonna have the guy who was holding the plug kind of chilling out here. Bro did not sign up for this. He's just a plug, and he's just like the plug-in technician. He doesn't have a gun on him. Bro's a contract worker. He's like, fuck it. They're not gonna insure me for this shit. I'm gonna hide. Space age insurance work has got to be crazy because given how many, like, think of all the random shit that could happen to you already, right? Now multiply that by the fact that everybody lives in spaceships. You know, there's alien worlds with different currencies, various diseases, a presumably rich fauna and flora that could both easily kill you. At least I'm assuming. All kinds of different space-borne accidents that we just have no idea could exist yet because our space technology, incredible though it is still fairly rudimentary. Yeah, no, it has got to be nasty work. Yeah, space life insurance is going to be like that one Tales Gets Trolled comic where Thomas like, do you know people die in car crashes all the time, even if they're wearing seatbelts? Like that's just going to be the promotional, like that's just going to be straight up the angle that they go for. Did you know people fall out of airlocks all the time, even if they have the right safeties equipped? My ass would definitely stumble out of an airlock at least once or twice. Like I definitely feel like at first I would be like, oh my god, it's an airlock. That thing is gonna kill me. But then later down the line, I would be like, the airlock ain't shit. let me let me in there. Let me in there while I'm recovering from a concussion, and whoop, and you get sent out to space. And then in my last moments, I'll be like, damn, I should have gotten that airlock insurance after all. I also feel like airlock insurance is just maybe a misleading sort of terminology because I feel like that could easily be either insurance for the airlock or insurance against accidents regarding the airlock. I feel like that's kind of ambiguity can be helpful sometimes if somebody doesn't know what they're looking for. And so that way you can just kind of take them through everything and do your sales pitch. That's a solid strategy right there. I don't know though. I feel like that doesn't work for everyone. I feel like there's two types of nervous shoppers, or people, or like there's two types of people who ask for suggestions when shopping. People who kind of don't know what they're doing and don't want to go through with it, or people who don't know what they're doing and do want to go through with it. And I imagine that the former is much easier to convert than the latter. Because you try to give the latter the kind of rundown you would give to the former, and it's just all kinds of backwards. They're already kind of a little bit nervous about doing this. They don't need that information overload. Hmm. I don't know which one feels more right. I think I'm gonna leave the part here blank. Oh, that's awesome. You ever marvel at sort of some of the cosmic coincidences that occur in our lives? For example, the fact that our moon is perfectly shaped so that when an eclipse happens, it like completely blocks out the sunlight. I know people were probably yapping about that back when the eclipse was happening, but it really is kind of crazy how wild and random that is for our planet to just have. Like, so many things had to align perfectly, and we have that phenomena on our planet right now. Like, that's just something we can appreciate and look at whenever we want. Well, not whenever we want, just whenever an eclipse happens. But you can see footage of the eclipse, so you can kind of see it whenever you want. I guess it's not the same though. I was talking about this for a reason. I forget which one. Oh, right. So it's crazy that these coincidences can align like that sometimes. And the reason I bring this up is because right now, even though I have my blinds down, even though it should be very late in the afternoon, or almost entering into kind of like the evening, the sepulcher, if you will. Wait, no, that's not the right. It's not sepulcher. The crepuscule. The Is that the right word? The crepuscule. The creepy skull. The crepuscule. Yeah, twilight basically. Even though it's the time of the sepulcher, the crepuscle is upon us. Right now, the sun is setting at the exact right angle for it to bounce off of the window of a neighboring apartment building and direct shine right through the little gap that I have between my window and my shades and directly into my face. Like like if I bob my head a little, I'm gonna get a face full of sunlight. Wait, hold up. Hold up. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. Although, I think maybe we can do just one quick thing about it. So, what width did I have to set? Like 5? Let's call it 5. Okay, so that would be this one and this one. Huh. Okay. That's quite strange. But I can work with it. Well, whatever, I can work with it. There we go. At least now it's more coherent than it was before. About like what each part is supposed to be. We're also missing some back here. We'll be able to make more sense of it once we have the shading going. But for now, it's just kind of this grunt work. But yeah, the fact that the sunlight is shining at this exact right angle to hit my face square in the mug, I don't know. There's something kind of miraculous about it. Like sometimes you just really do have to marvel at the series of coincidences that led you to be in your current predicament. In both like the good way and the bad way. Like I feel like in the good way, in like good situations, that's like practicing grace and whatnot, or practicing gratitude. I think is the right term. But in bad situations, you kind of like to take a step back and realize, oh wow, this was kind of boned from the beginning, huh? Well, it can go like that. Well, even if it goes poorly, there has to be some way to make it go well. There's always some kind of way to salvage the situation. You won't necessarily resolve the problem, but you might be able to salvage it properly, if the proper precaution is taken. Only bad part is it's not always clear what that precaution should be. Okay. This over here, this over here. This for the pants, and this for the shirt. Oh, Recha, how you doing? Hello, everyone. I'm Pabs, a racing VTuber and an artist. We're doing a little bit of comic work. How was your stream? What were you out to? Yeah, hey, Tori. Finally finished Lies of P. Yo, congratulations! How was it? Did you enjoy the game? 3 hours of boss fights? Oy, that sounds rough. Still, you made it through, huh? Good work. It was grand. Good to hear. Yeah. I didn't end up playing Lies of P, but I do remember a lot of the boss fights because they have such a different animation style from the rest of it. Like all of the bosses are like these. Well, for most of the bosses that I saw, they were these like big mechanical guys. So it was really cool watching them move around. It had such a different vibe to a lot of like the normal Soulsborne bosses that you see, where it's like big dude on a horse, big dude swinging an axe, small dude that is somehow deadlier than the other two big dudes put together. Some of the giant puppets are wild. There are some humanoid enemies too. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to have that variety. I don't know. I know it might be a little bit cliche, but I am a little bit of a mark for the whole thing of like you fought this like gigantic monster and it's very threatening and menacing, but he has nothing on just this one random dude who is about your size and just has a normal looking sword. And actually a lot of bad bosses. Ah. I think that makes the difference, right? Like I reckon that some bosses are just not fun to fight, huh? But if they had few bad bosses, then I think that means that most of them were fun to fight, or if nothing else, at least bearable. Right, we're gonna need to grab the orange from here to paint these little flashes of light. Oh god, that mods, help! I spilled my orange palette. I'm struggling to think of fights that I thought were just bad. That's a good sign, though. I don't know. Sometimes when you play a video game, you play through it for the most part, and you're like, oh man, this game was so fun. I'm having so much fun. I'm reliving some memories, and then you get to this one boss, and it's like, oh, you, like that guy you do not forget. Some did feel a bit unfair. That's yeah. Well, you can't avoid that. They can't all be winners. God. I remember I was watching my friend Cypress play through a Kingdom. You never forget your first filter. That's true. Also, hi Seth, how you doing? God, yeah, I was watching my friend Cypress play through Kingdom Hearts CS game, 358 over 2 days, and it had this one boss called like the Grave Leech or something like that, and that thing looked so awful to fight. It was just such a horrible creature. Good, making dumplings? Yo ho ho ho, let me get a bite. It's been a while since I've had some decent dumplings. I should get on that soon. I have these supermarket dumplings that I usually get to make fried dumplings over rice with. But yeah. Throw them on top of some rice for you. You the best. You the best. Yeah. It sounds like I'm speaking poorly of them, but those supermarket dumplings have saved my hide on more than a few occasions. I don't know. Sometimes it is nice just to be able to fry something and then eat that for dinner. Not to mention, I usually have leftovers. It's a big bag normally. Although one time I did get desperate enough. I didn't want to cook any rice, but I also didn't just want to eat the dumplings straight up. So I ended up putting the dumplings in between two slices of bread and making it like a dumpling sandwich. Not very good, but I didn't go hungry. I can say that much. I used to live by a place that would sell massive bags of 50 frozen dumplings for like $15, and it's the only thing I miss about my old place. That sounds wonderful. Yo, 50 dumplings for $15. Now that's a deal. God. I remember in one of my old neighborhoods, in one of the places where I used to live, we had like this pizza place called Bingo Pizza. And Bingo Pizza was Bingo Pizza was good, but the special thing about it is that it was like this. Those motherfuckers were big too. Ah, I didn't even live there, and you're making me miss that place. That sounds like heaven. Yeah, God bless the mass sale of cheap, accessible food. For real, the backbone of our society. They are becoming an extinct breed, unfortunately. But yeah, Pizza Bingo. What was the thing about Pizza Bingo is that they sold very like you could probably like if you were feeling pretty hungry, you could probably knock out a Pizza Bingo pizza in one sitting, maybe less than 30 minutes. They weren't very big pizzas, but they were cheap as hell. They were, and they were good too. Like they tasted real nice. I don't really miss that place, but my family and I would usually we would really regularly go and get some pizza from there. So I guess it's mostly the nostalgia here. Okay, erase this, grab this, apply this. But yeah. Ah, dude. I remember in high school, actually. You know what a place that I do miss, actually? There was this place near my high school that sold baozi, and those were so goddamn good. Like, if you've never had a baozi, it's basically like a giant steamed bun. I have the opposite situation. The pizza at the place I'd go to almost every day was so bad I could never forget it. Yeah, no, they sold baozi, and that shit was the bomb. Get a steamed bun the size of both your fists put together. Bite into that shit, soupy, porky goodness. God, I miss it. I really do. The place across across the street from my high school is really good for food. They had a lot of Chinese joints for some reason, but I'm not complaining. The food was delicious. Hmm? Oh, that's why I didn't color it in. I once bought an unmarked bao from a local Asian market, and that bitch had a whole chicken wing in it. Crazy. That is nuts. Ah, that's so good though. A whole chicken wing in there, like with the bone and everything. I'm trying to picture this. I don't know. It just feels really funny if like they just had the whole thing bone and all. Yeah. Oh my god. Yo, I don't think that I don't think that was on purpose. I think somebody fucked up your bounce. It also had a boiled egg, a chopped pork, and like two other things in it. The the Cuban sandwich bounce goes crazy. That you had like an entire 3-course meal in there. In the butcher world, we call that one the Neapolitan. Yeah, that's like the Neapolitan flavor of protein. Shit was like $4. Yo, God, cheap food, the things you do for us. God, street food really is just so important. I feel like almost on like a spiritual level, being able to eat street food regularly in like your developing age is critical. It's kind of like how when like if your kid doesn't start talking like after a year, you should start being concerned. Like if they're not babbling after a year, that's like when you need to like start being worried about them. Like I feel like if we have like entire people who have never eaten street food during like their developmental period, they're like missing out on a vital component. Like we should be concerned for them. At least I think it was like a year. I don't remember how like at what point the kid not talking is supposed to be strange in terms of developmental milestones. I remember going on a field trip to New York once in high school and wandering off to get a street hero. Teacher got crazy pissed, but I had a hero to eat on the bus home. Nice. I think the teacher was just mad because they didn't think of getting a hero. They were jealous because they were hungry. It's like that one picture of Eddie that's like cranky because you're hungry, ain't you? I remember one time somebody posted a picture of themselves eating like this very medieval looking stew and a loaf of bread and being like, I'm having a peasant meal right now. And and somebody like quote retweeted it saying, I'm actually angry this isn't my food right now. I don't know. Sometimes you get that feeling when you see others. Actually, a lot of times you get that feeling when somebody posts their food. It feels like it's been a while since like I really tried hard to prepare something fancy. I remember back in university, I sometimes like took a weekend or two to prepare something like really nice. Like I remember one time I made myself locomoco, which was really good. Highly recommend trying to make locomoco. It's like a hamburger patty with a fried egg and some the carbohydrate of your choice. When I lived near a farmer's market, once a month I'd buy a whole baguette, smoked sausage, fresh cheese, and local ale, and that would be my dinner that night. I am envious of that meal. Yo, you are eating good. Oh my god. The farmer market hoagie is legendary. I need to try and do that. I there's a farmers market not too far from where I live. It opens very early on Sunday, so that's been my main barrier to attending it. But you know, maybe it might be worth it. I'm willing to make I'm willing to make that trade off. You know, farmer market food in general is very strong. I do remember one time. So here's the thing, right? For the longest time while I've been living in Canada, I have been trying to find duck. I want to eat duck. I want to eat like duck meat. But the problem is that nobody seems to fucking sell duck meat. They sell lamb, they sell all kinds of fish, no duck. So the one time I went to a farmers market is because I heard that they had like some people who specialize in different meats in there, right? And sadly, they did not have duck, but I did get myself a nice cut of lamb. I don't know. Maybe I should take a longer time this time around and see if I can't find myself a more worthy meal. America literally has an invasive species called the Canadian duck. Yo, give them back. Give those motherfuckers back. I need them. I need to eat them. Give them to me. Look, if you don't want them, I'll take them. Just say the word. We're trying. Try harder. That's fucked up. How am I going to be? Here's a country that has a duck problem, and here's a guy who wants to eat duck. We can make something of this. We can solve this. We can help each other. A better future is possible. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. Maybe it's just like not near where I live. I always used to think that it was because of like that one thing that the British royalty made them do while they were here. Like I like all the ducks in Canada belong to the Queen or some shit. I think that's like what the case is. Don't quote me on that. Like all the geese belong to the Queen. I think. Well, belong good. They used to belong to the Queen. Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess Charles owns them now, but maybe once he kicks the bucket, we'll have access to them again. That reminds me, there was actually a Chinese food place near where I grew up that got fined for stealing wild ducks from a local pond to make their food with. That's how you know they're fresh. That's dedication. You know, I don't think they should get in trouble for that. That's a commitment to quality. Yeah, no, Charles ain't long for this world. That guy's gonna go any minute this year. But like, I had my finger on the pulse of that particular situation for different reasons, but now I might have a different sort of investment in it, a more personal one. Okay, I need to go back here, and I think we can start. Oh, right, I haven't done the gun yet. My fault. All right, let me open up the first layer here. This first panel. All right, we need to grab this one. All right, now we're cooking. Britain looking at it, looking like it's about to enter the classic era of warring siblings vying for the throne after the long-seated monarch perishes. I don't know. I don't feel like any of the current. I might be mistaken about this. Forgive me if I am. Forgive me if I am a little bit ignorant on this. I feel like none of the current British children are hungry enough to try and vie for anything. Like, they would strive for it, but I don't think vying is the right word that I would use. There's only really one sibling, and he was suspected of murdering his wife like 2 months ago. Yeah, okay, so that does put a little bit of a damper on the spirit of things, I feel. Eh. Honestly, I think they should forego the succession crisis and try and do like an Arthurian thing. Whoever's swole enough to pull a sword out of this rock gets to be the next one. That or Scotland should make its move at last. We can finally make that one joke from Star Trek become real. Alright. Add this here. Scotland needs to jump on the ball when Charles eyes it. Yeah. Yeah, we need those guys to lock in. I think we need those guys to be we have our jokes, but I think those guys really do need to lock in and seize the opportunity when it comes to them. I just think they should try at least. I mean, what's the worst that can happen if they fail? I mean, I could actually imagine a lot of worst case scenarios. So I think it might be better to focus on what happens if they succeed. 1, it'll be really funny. 2, they'll have independence. 3, did I mention it'd be kind of funny? Because it would be really, really funny. Hold up, I gotta like. Okay, I need to real quick. I need to finish up the cannon, the color of the cannon. But then I need to go back and fix this because there's no way the smoke plume from this guy's gun is going in front of the cannon. I don't think that's how that works. Or maybe it does. Maybe this is like X-ray smoke. X-ray smoke sounds like it would be a great name for a debut album. I don't know. Sometimes you happen to say phrases out loud. I feel like a very common joke for that, for like when you say a phrase that goes insanely hard and you have no real use for it, is somebody should name a band after that. I don't know. I've never really felt that calling. I feel like saying somebody should name a band after that. That's like maybe too much of a commitment, but I feel like you should still store that phrase somewhere in your head. I feel like there should be a coupon redemption you can get for coming up with like a cool combination of words, and then but never being able to use them. X-ray smoke is the name of some weed strain sold out the back of someone's 1988 Toyota. God. Can I add? Yeah, that looks like it would make sense. Gotta go make these dumplings, but good luck with the page. Thank you. Good luck with the dumplings. I hope they turn out delicious. Okay, that seems pretty tight. Now, what can we do to... Oh, wait, no, we actually do need... Shoot, actually. I should have done this on a different layer. Well, what's done is done. Also, we do need to pop the cannon layer back open, because we do need to get a gander at this. Alright, hang on. I know how to fix this. Alright, so first... It's bugging me that these aren't the same color, so I'm just going to make them the same color quickly. Second, I'm going to select a bunch of the color gamuts here. Thankfully, none of these are too similar to what is in the ambiance, so I think I can just copy and paste this and we'll be fine. Alright. Third of all, didn't I apply a gradient map to make it this color? I think maybe if we do the same thing, I can skip a lot of the steps of the wait, why? Hang on. I missed a spot, I think. Alright, let me try that again. Alright, well now let's apply a gradient map. Hopefully that'll work properly. I think it was something like night sky. And then we hue shifted it to be purple. I feel like this is getting pretty close. Yeah, no, I don't think this is going to work. Alright, plan B then. And by plan B, I mean plan A, except now I decided to do it later. I don't know, I think that's still technically plan B. Like, if you decide not to do it and then you do it anyway later, I think that's still the original plan. You're just bad at planning, I think. Or, maybe not very good at planning at the very least. Your planning skills are mid. Yeah, put that on your business card. Barely competent planning skills. I've right, perhaps I'm gonna chill for a little while before bed. Alrighty. We'll leave stream and look. No problem. Have a good rest. Okay, there we go. Where did the... Oh, here we go. Okay. I reckon that'll fly. Okay. I think that's most of the gun completed. I think now we can focus on the... Hang on. Gotta check something real quick. Alright, so what was the layer order? Or what blending mode does this use? Okay, so screen at about 79%. Okay. So by my calculations, if we do this, and then this, and then hit it with a little bit of this, I mean, that's pretty good, but doesn't really wow me. Let's try... Ooh, okay, now we're cooking. Alright, I got an idea. So we do this, and now we do a little bit of soft erase closer to the base of the gun. And also, maybe, as an additional bonus, do it on top of the cannon layer. And then brighten this up a lot. Okay, why is that behaving that way? Maybe what I'm lacking is saturation. That's not quite right. Oh, hang on. I think I know what I did wrong. What I should have grabbed is this layer. Then really bumped it up to... I don't know. One of these is going to be the right one. Oh, getting warmer. Getting warmer. Okay, that's odd. Why? Huh. Why is it acting like that? Oh, unless... I see now. Okay. Okay, I think... Actually, this looks a little bit cool, but it's not what I need. Okay. If that's the case, I'm going to... So the reason it didn't work is because the paint layer itself was out of whack for what we wanted it to do. So here's what let's do. I'm going to just grab this brush. That doesn't feel quite right. That doesn't either. Maybe like pinkish white? Yeah, okay, let's not do that. Still, now it does feel like it's lacking something. Maybe a little bit more Gaussian blur. I guess that's the best we can ask for. In the meantime, let's add... Actually, you know what? Let's actually subtract some of this stuff. So... Okay, increase the hardness. Polyline. Just around this area, I reckon. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Probably should have... I think it'll look more special once I... Hang on. It'll look a little bit more special once I go back and add some shading to the gun. So, for example, inside of here, maybe here and there with these shard parts. Okay, and right here, we're going to add a little bit of shading for the gun. Barrel seems like the wrong word to call it. The big part here. Okay, connect this over here. I forgot that I had a button to flip the layer on command. I forgot that I installed that. That would have been useful 3 hours ago. Okay, then over here. This part in particular is bothering me. It's got such a weird bald spot kind of color to it. I really have no other way to verbalize it. It feels like a bald spot whenever the color. I think it's because the saturation was off. I think that's what was bugging me the most about it, is that the saturation seemed to be a little bit wrong. In any case, let's add a couple things to the pylons here. At least I feel like they should be called pylons. I'm going to sprinkle them just a little bit with these droplets to symbolize the rust that they had, or that they should have, rather. Alright, how's that look? Ooh. It feels somewhat lacking. Why is that? Let's investigate for a little bit. Interesting combination. What the? Okay, what is Okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. Wait, I know exactly what's happening here. Oh my, okay. I was on the wrong layer. Okay. Yeah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Let's see if we can't do a little bit more with that. Oh, yeah, that looks cool. And I wonder if it's possible to get a slight, just a very, very small amount of, hang on, select color gamut. I want to see if we can't make that happen just a tiny bit for the area here. Forgot this part up top. My fault. Can we not just do like lighten and then lower it a little bit? Okay, yeah. Now, with how much can we get away with? So maybe if we saturate it. Filter, Gaussian blur. Okay, and then what we can do is we can just hit this thing with a gradient erase here and there. And hopefully that'll sort everything else out. Alright, with that we should be pretty good for the cannon. Okay. I will just have to live with the fact that this part here is going to be largely unshaded for a little bit. That's what we're going to try and fix now. Let's see. I kind of really like supersized crosshatch textures like this. I don't know. There's something very charming about them. But yeah. In terms of what we want to accomplish here. We want to shine this light. In the meantime, let's try to apply some perspective here and darken the rest of this cargo container looking thing. Okay. Yeah, that makes no sense in terms of perspective, but it looks hard, so why not? Okay, and over here. Yeah, it makes no sense to have a shadow here. But I will, however, add a slight line or two here, just to indicate that there is like a stronger indication of a breakage. Yeah, the thing about this particular frame is that most of the shadow is going to come like from over here. Most of the light sources will be in this direction, except for whatever's illuminated by the spotlight here. Very good. Hmm. I feel like there's not enough helmet room for this guy. Let's add the shadow a little bit. Give the helmet some real estate. Okay, then over here. Nope, wrong button. There we go. In terms of what else is left to do for the shadows on the floor, I think it would be helpful to have a little bit of the shadow coming back in from here. I don't know. There's a couple different things we can do. Oh, big plug shadow, naturally. And actually we can add some lighting to the plug as well. Okay. Yeah, I think we definitely need to use the wand tool a little bit with the deployment of this next stratagem. Maybe a slightly different. Maybe a slightly different shade of this particular color. Eh. I think my main issue with that is that it doesn't look natural. I guess this one looks a little bit better. I might use this. Hang on, yeah, I might just use this shading for the rest of this. All right, monotype shading, single channel. God, it feels a little weird. I'm young enough that I don't ever really remember having to use mono audio for anything. But I remember being old enough that I still saw it regularly as an option when going through like the audio stuff. I feel like I haven't seen a good mono stereo option thing in like a while. Oh, right. We also need to do this part. Let me just hit the thing with the millipen beam. Okay. Now, in addition to this, we're also going to need to use some of the darker tones for these rampways. I think that's going to really bring the whole thing up another level. I don't know. Shading is interesting because And I think I've talked about this a couple of times. Shading is the most trust the process as part of the process that is in my work, that is in anybody's workflow. I feel like consistently, I will talk to people about shading, and they're like, "Yeah, no, it's super hard, and like it feels super weird. Like none of it feels right until like you finish most of it, and then you're like, oh no, this actually looks pretty sick." And that's because the shading is very interesting because I don't know if this is like a thing that our brains do or anything, right? I don't know if it's like that fancy. But I will say that I feel like the reason shading feels so weird is because we are seeing both the like it's like those things that let us like detect subtle differences in patterns in leaves so that we could see if a tiger is attacking us, you know? Like it's a subtle thing, but and even though it's small, but if you notice it, it's gonna like fuck up your perception and immediately be like, oh yeah, no, this is not like an actual thing. This is why it's wrong. I don't know, more so than color and line art, maybe. It's a little hard to say when shading feels, like on point. But what can you do? It's a vital part of the process, so you have to learn to live with it. Or you could be one of those people who learns an entire art workflow just so that they can avoid it. Like all I'm gonna say is we don't know for sure if absurdists can shade or not. We don't know if like that's if the reason they went into absurdism is because the school of visual art really resonates with them, or if they just didn't want to learn how to shade. Well, as long as you create something that's meaningful to you in the context of that school of art, I reckon it's not. It doesn't really matter how you got into it. Some things are more about the journey than the destination, after all. Okay, use the rough eraser. Or actually, no, we'll need to use the Milli pen to cover up the errors here. Wrong color. Something about it doesn't seem right. Hang on. And it's because of the walkway here, but I feel like it needs to be more like that? Maybe. Maybe like this. Hmm. How's that? Yeah, that feels more correct. Hmm. And after that, in terms of what to do, I think we need to add some more shading to. I don't know. I feel like now this part here is missing some. Well, actually, no. What's missing from there is the fact that Hawk is going to be there. So, maybe that's fine. But maybe we can compromise a little bit. Maybe we can go like... Hang on. All right, select this, select this, select this, select this. It has kind of an amble shape to it now, doesn't it? The shadow it casts, I mean. Maybe that's auspicious in some way. Wait, no, would it be... Maybe if I just did it a little bit less aggressively. Yeah, it feels more right. Just a little less. And also with this. Or wait, no, more like with this. Okay, then over here. And what we can have is maybe... Oh, I think I see what's bugging me about this now. This shouldn't be so aggressively shaded as well, because the... hang on. Maybe I can use this to my advantage. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. What I could do... Okay, now we might be getting somewhere. Alright, alright, alright. And just right here, instead of doing all that other stuff we did, we just kind of add a slightly brighter patch. And then maybe even instead of drawing the rest of the shadow, what we do is we have a solid beam right over here in a conical fashion of some manner. Okay. So we're going to go filter, blur, Gaussian blur for sure. Filter, blur, motion blur. Furthermore, we're going to leave this sucker a little bit over here. And maybe we can use a blending mode rather than just the raw normal layer. And for a fun compromise, what we can do is we can add a little bit of extra light here just so it reflects the brightness coming in from up top. All right, yeah. Ugh. Goodness. I don't know. Something about the days lately just really seem to know how to stretch on. Almost to the point where they're overstaying their welcome. I should be grateful for these days, though. Yeah, it's that time of the year where it's like right before summer, you know, right before things get really hot. I should try to savor it while I can. I'm gonna call this layer beam also. All right. Then just for back here, we're just gonna shade all of these. Why not? In my head, I was going like, I could really go for a nap, but like in, I realized that at this point that would just be sleeping. What you want is to sleep, brother. God. I remember there was like this one system where you like worked 4 hours and slept 20 minutes, then worked 4 hours and slept 20 minutes, and something like that. You know, like you work for, like, essentially the idea is that you're active for a very, very long period of time for whatever reason. You know, in case I guess you need to get a lot of stuff done, or you just don't like sleeping, I suppose. I don't know. It's hard to. Is there some? Are there people who like dislike sleeping? Not like obviously there are people who have a hard time falling asleep. That's like a big thing. You know, I know that that's like one of the many ills of our generation is the fact that that people it's harder than ever to get at a good night's sleep. But I do wonder if there are people who just don't like the feeling of falling asleep. I wonder what their kind of perspective on life is. Because for me, while I sometimes deprive myself of sleep, that's generally to accomplish something else. It's not because I don't like sleeping itself. Okay. I think we can also start shading some of the mooks here. I think for this one, a more like stark shadow would be better. Mainly because of the light coming from their laser guns. In fact, I could go ahead and hang on. Yeah, something like that, basically. Okay. Right, I forgot to shade the metal part. I think that was what was throwing me off. There we go. Yeah, that looks a little bit smarter. I don't know. Weirdly enough, I kind of like the random mooks who have a little bit of a cowardly side to them. I don't know. There's just something good about a guy who can go like, yeah, no, this is I'm cutting my losses. I also understand that. Sometimes the situation is bad enough that you just go like, yeah, nah, I don't fuck with this anymore. This is no longer my vibe, and I shall be leaving promptly. Goodbye, sir. Good day. Yo, it must have felt good as hell to hit somebody with a good day, sir, back when that was like still in vogue. That must have been like the 1800s equivalent of talk to the hand because the head ain't listening. You know, it'd be like hitting somebody. It'd be like well, no, I was gonna say it's like hitting somebody with the up dog, but the issue is that those are fundamentally different jokes. Good day, sir, is just like a hell of a put down, right? It's like the one guy who's like, I'm not having any more of your shit. Leave, vacate my presence. I think that's what makes Good Day Sir powerful. Conversely, Updog is more of a jovial prank. In that case, you're not putting your foot down. It's more like you're trying to gotcha the other guy. Those are fundamentally different principles. I guess a more closely related equivalent of Updog would probably be like somebody being like, hey, look, it says gullible on the ceiling. That joke didn't work on me very well at first because I didn't know what gullible meant. I still looked at the ceiling though, which probably means I was gullible. Like I would understand that they were telling me to look at something on the ceiling, but I wouldn't get the rest of the joke that was like, oh yeah, you're gullible because you looked at the ceiling. LOL. I never that part never really clicked with me. I don't think. Oh right, the lamp here would also need a shadow. Okay. Hmm. Oh right, this would be on a different layer, I think. Yeah, those guys are out of my reach. Then before I leave, at least this layer, I mean, leave this layer. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what else I can do for the background here. Pick color from layer, this one here. I feel like I should boost the Gaussian blur of this a little more. Hmm. All right, let's go shape these guys up front. Okay. Put these up. Okay, so then in terms of what I want to do for the light emitting from the gun in this scenario, let's see what happens if we hit it with a soft brush. Yeah, no, that doesn't provide any meaningful change. I'm just going to leave it as such. I think one method is to just grab the color. This reminds me a little bit of like some kind of weird egg yolk. Probably because of like the yellow middle. And yeah, I think the best thing to do is to hold on to the... What do you call them? Hold on to... Grab the orange light from where the mooks are firing their pistols and use that as the basis for some kind of glow effect. That's my best reckoning of what should be done next. Okay. All right. Now, the question is, how would I guess the easiest way would be just grab them, huh? Yeah, I think it's good not to overthink it too much. That's the one here. Okay, now grab the ones here. Whoops. Okay. Now let's try what we wanted to do, which is Gaussian blur these guys. Hey, not that much. Okay, that works pretty well. Now, in terms of how we're going to do the lasers themselves, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. I think one of the easiest ways to do it would probably be to use one of those radial line rulers over top of some of these parts. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to do it. Oh, and before I forgot, let's go ahead and grab the electricity here. Add a little bit of this here. Or actually, I think it's on the shading layer. Might be more appropriate. Right. Grab this. Yeah, it's looking nice. Okay. Yeah, I can use a slightly wider brush to facilitate this process for myself. Wait, hold up. Oh yeah, no, I meant to do that. My bad. Okay. I don't know. I'm more. I'm a little worried about the distribution of this arcing electricity. I don't want to make it look like it's all coming from one side, right? I want to make it look like it's like squirreling its way up the cannon. And it does give that impression, but I'm wondering if it might look like I'm over favoring this left-hand side here. You know, I guess the right term would be starboard side of the cannon, because of the fact that that's the part that's most visible to viewers. I guess in that case, it's not too bad to bias towards it. You know what might be better here, actually? I wanted to convert this one to I'll come in from the side here. And I think what might fit better for this other side is if the lightning just kind of goes outward like this. Bro is hopping off at this station. Yeah, and I feel like that way it avoids that issue that I was talking about earlier of like favoring one side of the lightning. Okay. Now select these. Shrink by about 5 pixels. Maybe less. Let's say 2 pixels. Okay, 2 pixels for the ones up here, and then 5 pixels for the ones further up. Oh, why not make it more? About 7 pixels. Maybe even more for these ones up top. Okay, then select this one. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Bump that up quite a bit. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty cool. My spline. Okay. Then after that, I think the next part is the laser gun fire. That should be around here, I think. Alright, here's what let's do. I'm going to grab a new layer, and I'm going to use the radial line ruler? Shrug. What's the worst that could happen if I beef it? Wait, no, the radial line wouldn't... I mean, maybe it would. I'm not feeling it. Parallel line, parallel curve, multiple curve. Maybe the parallel line brush is the key. Or maybe I should just follow my heart. You know, that might actually be a better idea. Okay. May put the other ones on a different layer. Lasers A. Let's call this one. And then A one, we can put one on top of Hawk's layer. And I can make this one smaller to compensate. Oh yeah, I guess we don't need to hide the beam layer anymore. You know what, just before I do that, I'm going to copy and paste the other shot we had, because we might actually be able to leverage that. I'll explain myself shortly. But for the time being, let's just tuck it away. I should save my work. Very nice. Alright, it's going to be maybe a few shots fired from this guy. Maybe a few shots fired from this guy. Okay. Go back to this layer. A few additional. Let me use the Liquify tool a little bit on this one. I'm not too happy with it. Okay. No, that's a little too close to her to be feasible. All right. Let's see. Maybe I can move it around here. Okay. Something about it doesn't seem right. This feels a little better. Okay. Same technique, really. Just keep... That's the wrong type of liquefy tool. Alright, my bad. There we go. Okay. The annoying thing about working with larger brushes is that it's not just the fact that you lose a little bit of control, but occasionally it starts to do stuff like this where it kind of unexpectedly changes. It creates like these little dimples, you see? I don't know why it happens. It might have something to do with mouse sensitivity or whatnot. But you do have to watch out for that. Okay, then maybe over here. Maybe another one back here. Then maybe one more just over here. Cool. Okay. Now we actually have to draw Hawk firing back, which might be a little bit... Well, it might not be that bad. I don't know. We still have to shade Hawk to begin with. I'd rather not spend another stream on this one. I guess I'll just push it a little bit for tonight. And try and get this done. Alright, I need to get rid of the... Hang on. No. Maybe. Hang on. Let's try this. Yeah, no. Alright. Here's the plan. We're gonna grab all these other layers. Oh man, there really is a lot here. There we go. Let's rework the light beam here a little bit. Way thinner than that. Let's do it. Let's say like 10-inch, 10 pixel thickness. Treat yourself to 10 pixels of venom. That's kind of a hard bargain. 10 pixels of venom actually seems like very little venom for your money. Okay, then over here. Oh boy. Alright, nice. And now we have a little bit of free reign to do whatever we want with the bottom here. Let's arrange this part here. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we can add a few shots from Hawk, but I don't know where they would go. Unless, instead of showing the beams from Hawk's shots, we show... Maybe she's trying to like hit these two guys here. And so then we would go back to around, I want to say here. So we would have... I don't know, could we like flip Hawk around a little bit? Is that in the cards? Whoop. Wrong folder. I mean, it's not impossible. It would certainly make more sense than the angle we had before. Okay. Not the happiest solution, but hey, I'll take it. Okay. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Gotta get rid of this jabroni. He's kind of cramping the style of the rest of the scene, by which I mean the laws and physics of it. Let me do a little something to this one first. I don't know, it just looks better that way, I think. This one for sure can go. Not sure what's going on up here. Oh, maybe that's... Hold on. Yeah, that's part of like Hawk's layer. I was wondering why I hadn't noticed that before. Okay. Now let's get the shading Hawk. Let me grab one of the previous pages so we can... Actually, page 3 should do fine. Okay, grab this. Nah. Alright. Alright, this is the shirt color, so that's going to go like... this. Then this. Yeah. Finalizing Hawk's shading shouldn't be too much work, I don't think. We can definitely finish this page tonight. Something about this just feels bad. That makes it feel a little better. Yeah, the lighting here is going to be a little bit complicated because I feel like Hawk would be kind of like illuminated by the moon, by the light behind her, so to speak. This will make my life easier. Okay, then over here. That feels like I'm on the right track. Let's explore it a little bit further. Okay, not bad. I feel like once I get tired enough, there's like a sort of Zen state that I reach, a sort of flow state where I just become ungodly good at painting metallic colors. I remember the other day I stayed up a little bit late to work on a commission, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know how to shade the metal on this thing. And then I just did it. Like, first try, 0 notes, it looked amazing. I'm like, huh, that was weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm like one of those video game characters that gets stronger at like 20% health. I don't know how to feel about being that kind of class. Self-destruction isn't really in my nature. Although self-sabotage is to some extent. And even then, it's only like a sometimes thing. Usually self-sabotage is a sign of I don't actually want to do the thing. In any case, I've lived this long, so I doubt it's been very effective. Okay, then over here. We'll darken this just a hair. Wait, I have... might as well just use the normal shading tone. Why not? No, that looks weird. I don't know why, but it looks weird here. Let's try this one that we were going to use earlier. Yeah, see? That looks much better. I should have never doubted myself. Alright, I think the only thing left to do is maybe the wings. I got a couple things missing, but we can do those up real quick. Okay, then over here. It's like a big cue ball. Alright. That should do it. Wait, no, these things. Alright. I forgot about the actual middle part of the jetpack. Alright, we can fix that up real quick. Oh. Oh, hey, Jay, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm Pabs, or I see VTuber and an artist. How's your Cinenerdle thing? I saw. I didn't really get like what it was, but it looked like it was challenging. Hang on. Rice Master. Hang on. Make me an offer. It was good. I won way more than I was expecting to. Ah, that's always awesome. I'm glad to hear that you had a good time. I'm glad that it was, it's always like if you've been off of streaming for a little bit, it's nice to have like a good win when you come back, So I'm glad you had a great time. Yes, as always, if you're feeling a little bit tuckered out, feel free to keep it moving. But if you want to stay by and chat, I always appreciate it. We're almost done with this panel here. After that, it's just the next panel here, and that's going to have a pretty plain color background, and then we'll be done. I was expecting to go longer, but then I won with the strategy. I was brute forcing the whole evening. I was so over the moon, I had to call it there. That's not a bad idea. Ended on a high note. That's always critically important. Yeah, I'm gonna shift the hue of this just a little bit to the left. I'm glad you got him good. Nice work out there. Okay, then over here. Yeah. At first, I thought that I've never really understood like the Wordle category of games. I am unfamiliar with their game, but they have to be a lot of fun. Everybody keeps playing them, and this is about movies, right? I don't know too much about movie trivia. My knowledge of that is pretty limited. Although I can always appreciate a good movie. You don't have to be a movie nerd to appreciate a good movie. I'm especially lucky because I have a friend of mine who's really into movies, and he takes the perilous leap to culturally educate me every now and again. I remember he took me out to watch Parasite when it was still in theaters. That was a really good experience. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but for every actor and competitive. That sounds harrowing. Hmm. I see. So it's kind of like you have to beat the other person at making connections between a set of movies. Is that about it? Between several movies. God, I remember one time I went to this event at a local convention that I attended, where it was this guy whose whole thing was that he would play music from random video games, and not all of them were very obvious. He had some like underhand throw answers, but some of them were like very obscure. And the toughest part of that was this one where he tried to essentially he played two different songs from two different games, and you had to do like a mashup of their titles in a way that made sense grammatically. Pretty much, yeah. You win when they can't find a way out of the movie you played. Huh. Neat. Also, I can't help but feel like this would be better as a highlight. Maybe the other way around. Or hell, maybe I can just do this. Actually, this works even better. Never mind. I don't care what I was planning earlier. This works even better. Or, maybe we can find an alternative option. No, that's not quite right. Here's what let's do. Gotta cool off because I feel like I was doing hard exercise. Have a great rest of your stream. Comics looking great. Thanks, Jay. I'm glad you had fun. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Good work out there. All right. Then I think the last thing to do is this last little panel over here, and that one's going to be hopefully not too complicated. First, I strike the hand. If I'm first, I strike the no. Okay. That's too aggressive of a run. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Getting warmer. Hmm. A little brighter. And maybe I had a texture that I used back in like this page here. Let me open that up. It's a little ways back. Yeah, this one. How did I make that one? This one. Okay, nope. Yes. All right, let's just grab this. Oh man, is it just that part? Wait, no, hang on. Wait, we might be back. And then, do we have like one of those, what do you call? Let me go to the all materials button. There's, I think like they almost call it like urchin, yeah. The sea urchin flash circle. Such a strange sound. Such a strange combination of words. All right. All right, we'll just rasterize this guy and use the thicken tool. There we go. I don't know, maybe that's too distracting. I don't. Maybe if we find some way to. All right, this might be the answer here. We might be able to use it in a less disruptive. Pink feels inappropriate. Maybe like a brighter red. No, that's just kind of. I mean, realistically speaking, do we need? Okay, then maybe now we increase it. And filter, blur, radial blur? Yeah, I reckon that works. Or actually, maybe right now the direction is inward. Maybe if I do it outward. Oh, that looks powerful. Yeah, okay, I can rock with that. Maybe if we make it just a tiny bit smaller, though. There we go. All right, very nice. We can get rid of this little side tab here for now. I'm going to borrow that ruler, too. Okay. Pause that ruler. Now, I think I should leave the cloth flying like that. Simple and clean. Grabbing that ruler again. I'm going to grab the little yellow line here. Okay, then we can get rid of that temporarily. And maybe we can have a couple of these suckers flying around in among the other places of the... Actually, I need to shape the little grenade here first as well. Okay, then over here. Okay. Now we can start making the other laser beams. Okay, then over here. All right, what I might do is I might just really quickly grab all those laser shots that I just made and move them on to their own layer so I can give them an outline. I feel like that would be prudent. Can I actually... Hang on. Duplicate this. Rasterize it. What happens if I use the motion blur filter on these? Okay, maybe not that much motion blur. They're gone. They have disappeared. Their existence has ceased. Getting warmer. Backward. A little less than that. Then duplicate that. Filter Gaussian blur. Make it much more saturated and luminous. There we go. Is there anything else I'm missing? May a little bit of shading on the smoke from the gun here. It'll be nice to have this page finished. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to go too ham on the shading for the smoke here. It's a little bit, it's somewhat secondary to the main purpose of the whole page. Okay, add this here. Alright, I think that's a wrap. Let's see what happens when we turn the page background to white. I'm wondering if maybe it might not be a better idea. So instead of having this bright red background, which is pretty nice, not gonna lie, it is pretty nice. I did a good job with that one. What if instead, alright, I'm gonna grab a color from here. Wrong layer. Okay, that one doesn't seem right. What about this one? Okay, and then maybe this one as well. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a speedline background like this. Can I get rid of the sea urchin pattern? Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not as striking as the other one, but I think we can make it more striking, you know? I don't know. Something about the other one just didn't feel appropriate for the kind of vibe I was trying to go for. I should save my work, though. That being said, above all else, you know what really wouldn't fit with the vibe of the page? Having to redo 3 hours of work. Somehow I can't help but feel like that would maybe interfere somewhat with the artistic vision that I had in mind. Making up a guy in my head just now. What if there was somebody who tried to like channel, who like deliberately worked on like one of the worst possible like workflows ever, right? I'm talking absolute garbage program, constant interruptions, utter dog shit internet connection. His headphone is broken and the music's only coming out of one earbud. He did that deliberately in order to perfectly channel the greatest amount of frustration felt while working so that it may bleed into his work. Essentially, some dude who has taken hating to such a high degree and level of execution that he has deliberately sabotaged his own workflow for the sake of more accurate hating. You know, like how sometimes when you're mad, you like do things that'll make you feel even more mad? Kind of like that, but in order to more accurately portray the ideals of frustration and anger in their own work. Alright. So for this part here, let's try to use a gradient map to have it be a more shocking color. So I'm still a little bit Yo, wait, hang on. Yo, that red is pretty nice, though. That red is pretty nice. Wait, where? Hold on. Drake? Where's the shading layer? Oh no. Did I accidentally get rid of all the shading somehow along the way? Oh shit. Alright, hang on. Let's do undo for a little bit. Oh god. Oh god, please no, I was joking about the frustration thing. Please, you can't do this to me! God, please be there, please be there, please be there, please be there. Oh, thank god. Alright, we're cool. Crisis averted. I was scared for my fucking life just now. I thought I was dead for real. Oh my god. Oh, let's not play that game again. Let's try to avoid that feeling from now on, shall we? Oh god. Hang on. Also, I gotta do one more thing. I gotta... Hold up. I gotta do some major cuts to what's actually on this thing. Because converting the whole page right now, that's very inefficient. Cool, but very inefficient. I like this one. I like this one because it creates a nice contrast. imagine you're trying to dodge enemy fire in Barbie world. Alright. Alright, I like this one because it uses like the purple tones that were there already, and it creates a nice contrast for the laser fire. I think that's a wrap. Yeah, no, that definitely looks a lot better. Alright. Good work, everyone. Thanks again to Rachel7 and Jay for the raids. I really appreciate it. Who all is streaming right now? Oh, Starshine is doing a donathon right now, so let's go say hi to her. All right. In the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow with some more of this, and I will see you all later. Bye.